guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. It's Monday, hey? Just feel like kind of slow. But anyway, today I'm just gonna answer a quick question. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I can accumulate all the questions. Hey? I never know when I'm gonna go through it. But anyway, today we're gonna discuss the function of the crystal. So basically, there's a question here. They would like to know what's the function of the crystal because they've been, start to get the understanding of the crystal this couple of years because the all spiritual healing or the ancient way of spiritual connection or even the fortune telling, they always have crystal ball, no matter Western culture or Eastern culture. So they want to know, what do I think about a crystal? Some psychics say the energy of crystal need to be purified, so they will have a special activating, ceremony for it. And then they say usually the crystal you buy elsewhere will have messy energy or the message. Is that true? Because they follow my vlog. They believe everybody should have ability to contribute good energy into the crystal and also activate the feng shui, because crystal is also partially created by the water, right? So anyway, I realized translating in the morning is not easy for me. So to answer your questions, what is the function of crystal? Well, I would say it's the same function of the mineral. Do we need all mineral? Not necessary. Some people need it, some people don't. Some people need a little bit more of that, some people need less of that. You know what I mean? So through my journey, I pay a lot of attention to, observe the crystal effect. What would they do to people, and what kind of how would they infect us, right? So the best way I can describe it is I always use a crystal as more filtering the energy. Does that make sense to you? So we will go through, if you refer to my previous episode, we would go through different stage of time or life where our energy will actually change color, change vibration, and things like that. Sometimes when we're going through our low or confusion or, the period of time that we feel very lost, I sometimes will use the crystal to purify myself or my client's energy, just because to filter out that cloudiness, white energy, or to filter out that black energy, right? So I do notice with crystal, it seems to, the vibration itself seems to work with our human vibration very closely or easily. That means we don't really reject it as much as we would compared to other harsher mineral, right? So the purpose of it, really, for me, crystal is just part of the nature, right? So do we need it? Not necessary, right? But if people who is very aware of spiritual energy or things like that, they will sometimes realize how crystal can help them purify or even intensify or even, help them concentrate, that bring out that energy that they wanna focusing on. So that might be why I start to understand, like a crystal ball especially. Crystal ball is such a intense energy, right? So what the clear crystal ball I notice is it basically magnify what I already have. You know what I mean? So that will explain why I notice some people, they like to use crystal ball to see the future in there. Well, I think that just how media Hollywood or something to make it easier for us to understand. But be honest with you, I think the existence of a crystal ball is simply magnify what I already have. You know what I mean? So sometimes I might have that psychic power, but then I also live a life like normal human being, right? I probably go through a period of time that I feel a little bit, cannot concentrate much, or, message is a little bit vague. In that situation, I might use crystal ball to help me intensify the energy that I want to focusing on. But that didn't happen. But I'm just lazy people to bring stuff with me. So I was focusing on, purify my own energy instead. So anyway, so if you want to ask me what is a function of crystal, I will say at this stage, what I do realize is it helps you filter your energy or intensify the certain area you want to focusing on. So that will, as you will see, there's different color. All the colors will pretty much work differently based on your own vibration and your energy, right? I understand that majority of the society, when they sell the crystal to you, they like to group it, summarize it, and tell you, oh, pink is for love, focusing on that. Well, in this regard, it actually activates. Not only it works with the crystal itself, purify your energy, it actually also activate the belief, your power of thought, right? Because if you believe it, it will work too, right? So, but as crystal itself, that's what I would say. Either purify your energy or, intense certain area you want to focusing on. So that, I hope I answer your question. So if some people would tell you the things you buy outside seems to be, got, not so clean energy. It could be because I did go through, various shop or different places, and I do realize that even though it was same crystal, it sometimes would give me different energy. As I say, since it's purifying or intense certain energy, that means whoever touch it, whoever handling it, or even whoever selling it, their energy might have contribute to what the crystal is. You know what I mean? So in that regard, yes, you could clean it yourself. I have a very simple way for you guys to clean it, really. All you have to do is, for me, I just leave it by the window or by the sun to let the sun, moon, lay there to get some sun for 24 hours, 48 hours. Then I'll just rinse it with water. Very simple. If you don't trust your crystal, you don't know if whoever handle it, right? If, people got bad intention or something going to bring that energy back to you. Very simple way. You can always clean it, put it under the sun, and then rinse it again. Then it would be pretty much new. As always, how do you know your crystal need to be purified? Crystal and the jade is basically the same thing. When we wear it all the time, when it start becoming dull, the color, it become a bit dull-ish, then it's probably about time to clean it. That means that filter is basically assuming crystal as a filter in your air purifier, right? So when it becomes dull, it's basically time for you to take it down and then rinse it, do the same thing, let it put under somewhere that sun can be purified by the sun, and then let it sit for about 24 hours, 48 hours, and rinse it again, then can reuse it again. Okay, so that for the special activating energy ceremony, honest with you, I don't see necessary, unless sometimes some psychic or spiritual people like to put in some thought or put in some specific energy into your crystal. That could be done too. As I said, they simply, a filter that will help you filter things. There are cases which I myself would do this sometimes to try to put certain thought or something into the crystal for the client. In that regard, you may need a special ceremony. Not necessary, really, but you do need an extra step from this point of view. But in regard of make it look like a ceremony, is really up to whoever psychic want to put a thought into your crystal. So anyway, I hope I can really run this up for you guys. Crystal, things that you filter want to intensify your energy. Everybody's energy change, even myself, So what I would say is, if you want to pick a crystal, go with what you like, what you feel like, because your sensation will usually guide you through what you need, right? So instead of people say, oh, you need this, you need yellow crystal or you need blue crystal the whole time, unlikely people will stay with one color the whole time. If you really pay attention to your mood and your energy, you will realize you tend to be attracted to various different colors through different time. So if you are the person who is consider you are quite intuitive or, sensitive, I would say go with what you feel. If at this period of time you feel like pink, go by pink. If you feel like blue, go by blue, really. But unlikely one person will stick with one color the whole time. If you want to go pick up a crystal, I always say buy the one that call your name, that you feel connected to. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm just too, sensation driven, but I would say buy the one that you feel is calling you, right? Because usually if you open your sensation, you will get that feeling that you feel like, I'm drawn to you, or I like you, you know what I mean? So I would buy the crystal like that, that's right. And anyway, I hope that answer your question. I answer the function and then how you want to purify activity. Yes, crystal have a lot of things to do with, they can accumulate your thought. Does that make sense? That's why spiritual psychic people sometimes would like to, put their thought into crystal and make it like a ceremony. So if you understand that, you will also understand outside they will call lucky rock. You know what a lucky rock? If you have a rock, you pick any rock, even though that rock is not crystal. You continue putting thought into this, believing that rock gonna give you luck, luck, right? If you put your thought to that every day, eventually that rock is gonna bring you luck. My goodness, I'm creating my own rhyme, but you know what I meant, right? So crystal work just the same, because not only they filter it and they intensify your energy, they can also accumulate the thought that you want to store in that. So the function of crystal, I hope I answer your question. In order to purify, let me say it again, have a quick rinse and then put it under the sun, not under the sun, somewhere that you can see the sun. Get some sunlight for 24 hours, 48 hours. Take it down, rinse it a little bit. If you want a little bit more purified, throw some salt into your water and do a quick rinse. Then you can reuse it again. Do you want to know when you want to use it? Clean it. Very simple. If the crystal start becoming dull, because if you have a great energy, you wearing it, the chances, your crystal will always have very shining effect to it. You know what I mean? It's almost like a silver, right? So you will have that shine to it, but when it's become dull, then you will know it's about time to clean it. So anyway, Monday, let's just answer the question. I hope I answered your question. So again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on the Facebook or subscribe my YouTube channel or go to my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.